Hi everybody, you're going to love this. It's 19 Crimes Day and we're going to pick, or I am, the worst crime out there. There's 5 on the table. I've got rid of 3 because they weren't quite bad enough, but these guys are minging. Now, what have we got? We've got a Chardonnay, a Rosé and 3 reds, one of which says a grape variety on the label, so it should taste of that grape variety. Before we start, this is what they are. So it's a brand created, I think in 2012, by a massive company called Treasury Wine Estates. So should we see what they've done to try and make us drink it? In fact, not me, because I'm well not their target grade. But here we've got a picture of a criminal on each of these labels. Let's have a look. There we go, there's one. Picture on the label of a criminal. And basically in the late 18th century, criminals were deported from the UK to Australia for crimes like impersonating an Egyptian. But if I carry on about this, we'll be so bored. So should we taste some wine? Right, here we've got, first up, a white one. It's the Chard. So they call it 19 Crimes Chard, full and round, rich and fruity, with notes of vanilla and spice. Yes, I'm sure they do. Right, here we go. Let's look for some vanilla and spice. So it's quite light for a Chardonnay, but there we go. It's quite light for a Chardonnay. And I do want notes of vanilla and spice. So Chardonnay is quite a rich grape variety. It's the one that makes the most expensive white wines in the world from Burgundy. Let's see what it does from Southeast Australia. Funnily enough, not an awful lot on the nose. I've got a tiny bit of peach, which is what you can get from a Chardonnay. Shove it in here. Oh my God. That is as disgusting as it was the first time round. So it has got wads and wads of sugar in there. I can still want to be sick now. So it's lasting for a long time. And it is literally like drinking a tin of peaches, you know, with that lovely syrupy peach juice in there. But it doesn't actually taste of peaches. It just tastes of sugar. That is 19 Crimes, an utterly foul wine, each declared by His Majesty. Well, His Majesty, mate, would not drink any of that. So Chardonnay is quite high up there as a starting point for a bad, bad crime. Now, here we've got a pink one. It's called Revolutionary Rosé. Right, so Revolutionary Rosé should be aromatic and fruity with notes of grapefruit, strawberry and candy. Well, fair up to 19 Crimes, it's the right colour. I love a nice pale coral pink rosé. So looking at that, I'm thinking, that's okay. Have a little sniff. And I've basically got all candy. It's like going into the sort of fairground at the pick and mix or whatever, if they still have them at a fairground, and sniffing the sort of white and red sweets, which makes me a little bit frightened about putting it in my mouth. This is such a fun day out. Thank you. All these were sent to me by Ocado, generally to entertain myself this morning. Whenever you're watching it, I think probably... Oh my God. Oh, shit. I'm just going to have another look at this. Notes of grapefruit. 0 notes of grapefruit. Notes of strawberry. Half a note of strawberry. And notes of candy. Lots. It's actually like strawberry cordial. It is completely foul. Now, don't worry. I'm thinking about whether one of those is winning. Now let's do some reds. This one, the 19 Crimes Red, is the biggest seller of the lot, I believe, until Snoop Dogg maybe took it over by whopping his name on the label. So most of these come from Australia. The Rosé, though, comes from Spain. Enough of that. Let's whack the red in there. So this is about £9.50 British pounds. Yes, it looks red. Well done, 19 Crimes. It says the contents are red wine. So I'm glad we know what's going on in that. Yeah, contents are red wine, and I don't really care what they say it's going to tell us. So let's have a little smell. And it smells of sort of blackcurrant jam. So it's really jammy and not a lot else. So no clean fruits, just a little bit of jam. Let's have a taste. Oh. I think I'm just going to check if my teeth are still there. Yeah, they're still there. I thought they might have melted away. That is 100% yuck. Right, so that is their biggest selling wine, I believe. And it is so much sugar. So just to give you an idea, normal red wine that you might get from France or Italy, let's say a Côte de Rhône or something, is going to be under 4 grams per litre, maybe 3 grams per litre of sugar. This dude here, I think, is something like 11 grams per litre. It basically means you're getting half a teaspoon, maybe more, of sugar in each glass of wine that you're pouring. So, I mean, that hurts my teeth. Are we going to send Ricardo a bill for this? Because this is really not a fun way to spend the morning. They sell something like, I mean, this is a brand that went within its first 18 months of selling stuff, they sold 18 million bottles a year. So there's 18 million twats out there buying this wine. And when you're doing stuff in that volume, you just can't get anything authentic. You can get a wad full of sugar. No, I'm not going to have another go on that. It's absolutely rank. Okay, so I'm thinking now these three are good. I'm thinking what might be my contender. Now, here we've got their level, I think it might be a level up. So that's sort of their basic entry-level red wine. And here we've got 19 Crimes Dark Red, contents of which, a dark red. Brilliant. Tells us absolutely, it's the same story on all of the back labels, telling us nothing at all. Fair play to 19 Crimes, it's still a dark red. It's a darker red. It's a darker red. Right, and it smells of a little bit more blackcurrant and a little bit more spice. So what does it say? So it says it's, it doesn't really matter. It's dark red and it says forest fruits. Blah, 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 forest fruits. And I have a little smell. It definitely smells more winey. It smells more like a wine. Pop it in me gob. There's still loads of sugar in there, but it's actually got a tiny, tiny bit of structure. Again, that is a significantly less severe crime than the red wine there, the 19 Crimes. It's still pretty horrid, though. You might have gathered that I'm not a fan. Right, here we've got 19 Crimes Malbec. Now, Malbec is one of the biggest selling red wines. This wine does come from Argentina, where they make great Malbec. So the best place for Malbec in Argentina is Mendoza. In goes Malbec from Argentina. And Malbec should be really lovely, blackcurrant, plush, rich fruit, a little bit of hint of vanilla. Should be a sort of really lovely steak wine. Wonder what this is. It's the right kind of colour. Not that you can see, it's red. And it does smell of sort of cheese and blackcurrants. I've never got cheese on a Malbec before, but I get it on this. Smell that. Oh, God. Right. I've never got that before on a Malbec. Let's have a go. That is the shittest Malbec I've ever put in my mouth. That is absolutely rank. So when you look at quality levels on wine, you go, how long can you taste the wine after you've actually spat the wine out? Anything between 1 and 4 seconds, I sort of think is petrol station wine. I actually stopped tasting that 2 seconds into it being in my mouth before I've even spat it out. It is literally disgusting, and you can't even taste it after 2 seconds. It's foul. All you get is a mouthful of chewy tannin. That is an utterly shit wine. Okay, so we've got 5 really quite poor wines here. They're all about 10 quid, and my beef with them is there is just wadfuls of sugar. My beef with this is that it's just really bad for what it's pretending to be. This is definitely not in the contention. This is not in the contention because this is worse. This is between these 3. Don't get me wrong, these 3, I'm all going to be sick after not even half a bottle. But if Wandsworth Prison had 1 cell for 1 bottle for 1 or more nights, it's not the Chardonnay. It's not even the dark red. It's you, baby. It's the 19 Crimes Malbec, which is the shittest Malbec I have put in my mouth for as long as I can remember. And I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Not at all. Can we do something nice next time?